Nothing holds us bound. Can you see it? The light of Africa is rising to higher grounds. We're lifting up. Nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Together we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine a light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Africa, we are strong. One nation to another. See now we stand as one to celebrate our victory. Riches and glory of the motherland, and nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine a light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 Africa. Oh, 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 it's a new beginning, higher ground, we're lifting up, and nothing holds us bound. It's a new day, it's a new beginning, higher grounds, we're lifting up. Nothing holds us bound. Can you see it? The light of Africa is rising to higher grounds. We're lifting up. Nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Together we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 yeah. We know we got that power. Africa, we are strong. One nation to one another. See now we stand as one to celebrate our victory, riches and glory of the motherland, and nothing holds us bound. So come on, and come on, we call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Forever we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 Africa. Oh, 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 it's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher ground, we're lifting up, and nothing holds us back. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher grounds, we're lifting up. Nothing holds us bound. Can you see it? The light of Africa is rising to higher grounds. We're lifting up. Nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Together we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 yeah. We know we got Africa, we are strong. One nation to another. See now we stand as one to celebrate our victory, riches and glory of the motherland. And nothing holds us bound. So come one and come all. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Forever we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 Africa. Oh, 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 it's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher ground, we're lifting up, and nothing holds us bound. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher grounds, we're lifting off. Nothing holds us bound. Can you see it? The light of Africa is rising to higher grounds. We're lifting off. Nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Together we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 yeah. We know we got that power. Africa, we are strong. One nation to another. See now we stand as one to celebrate our victory, riches and glory of the motherland. And nothing holds us bound. So come one and come all. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Forever we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 Africa. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher ground, we're lifting up, and nothing holds us back. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher grounds, we're lifting up. Nothing holds us bound. Can you see it? The light of Africa is rising to higher ground.
Good afternoon. Always happens. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. As it's a room of 100 people and Botswana is not sounding loud, so you have to be louder than me. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And have all of you stand up, because you're not having the energy yet. Please, let's stand up. I know, it's a Friday afternoon. We're here to talk about connecting markets. I want you to move a little bit, okay? So you're going to do exactly what I do, all right? Okay. I'm awake. You have to say I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm alert. I'm enthusiastic. You have to move that lunch. I'm not seeing people moving. I'm awake. I'm alert. I'm enthusiastic. Alert. Some people are not alert. Awake. Alert. Enthusiastic. Alert. Awake. Enthusiastic. Good to see you all, Jen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are together, motivation moving, as we're here to talk about the Intra-Africa Trade Fair. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I welcome you here to Botswana's IATF Business Roadshow, where we are going to be talking about the Intra-Africa Trade Fair 2023 that's going to be taking place this November. My name is Winket Muthini. I am the Senior Program Manager at the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, quite a mouthful, but one of the partners together with Business Botswana and BITC who have brought this event here to Botswana to be able to engage with you and see, will you be with us in Cairo? So I'm really looking forward to the discussions that we'll have. There's no doubt that Botswana has much to gain from the African Continental Free Trade Area, from trade growth, economic development, industrialization, and diversification. It also comes with substantial employment creation and so much more. We want to help make that event interactive by making questions. And I really want you to interact with the panels that we have here and the speakers who have come and engaged with us today. So as always with such events, I want to start with housekeeping. I know we have our phones, so please, with your beautiful ringtones, if you could put it on silent so that we can be able to engage with each other. For our live stream partners and guests who are joining us online, please engage with us also on the comment section so that we can also have you as part of this room. Other than that, for the part on the panel discussion, we will invite you during the panel to be able to give us your questions. And when you're introducing yourself, give us your name and where you're working so that at least we get to know you as well. So other than that, I would like to urge all of us to join us in Cairo, in Egypt, from the 9th to the 15th of November for the continent's game-changing premier trade and investment event, which is the Intra-Africa Trade Fair 2023. This is its third edition. Now, to introduce why we're here, the African Export-Import Bank, that is Afrexim Bank, in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the ASFTA Secretariat, brings you that third Intra-Africa Trade Fair to be hosted in Cairo, and it will provide a unique and valuable platform for businesses to access an integrated African market of over 1.3 billion people with a GDP of around $3.5 trillion. This will be possible under the African Continental Free Trade Area. We would like to encourage you to also register by visiting the website, intraafricatradefair.com. And it will take place, as I repeated, and I want you to keep this date in your mind, from the 9th to the 15th of November. So you can have the video to introduce the IATF.
Join Africa's premier trade and investment event in Cairo, Egypt. IATF 2023 is expected to attract over 1,600 exhibitors from more than 75 exhibiting countries and over 35,000 attendees, and is expected to generate up to $43 billion in trade and investment deals. IATF 2023 will once again consist of a trade exhibition where countries, large corporates, as well as small and medium enterprises can set up pavilions and exhibition stands, which will enable them to customize their exhibition to fit their unique requirements. This offers private and public entities opportunities to showcase their goods and services. Trade and Investment Forum, the 4-day conference, will feature leading African and international speakers and a variety of sessions dealing with African trade and investment issues. Specifically, the conference will feature dedicated sessions on trade and investment opportunities under the AFCFTA and will also include training workshops covering exporting, standards, and marketing. Creative Africa Nexus platform will showcase Africa's creative economy in fashion, music, film, arts and craft, sport, gastronomy, and culinary arts. The CANEX program will include a Creative Africa Summit and dedicated creative industry exhibition, a B2B and B2G platform. The platform will provide opportunities for matchmaking, business exchanges, and conclusion of business and investment deals. This is supported by a dedicated African Buyers program. Country Days has sponsorship opportunities and is open to 4 countries. It presents a platform for the 4 selected countries to showcase their trade, investment, tourism, and cultural opportunities. IATF Virtual. This platform showcases goods, services, and investment opportunities on an interactive online platform. The IATF Virtual is currently live and will continue even after the physical trade fair has ended. The Africa Automotive Show will present a platform for auto manufacturers, assemblers, original equipment manufacturers, and component suppliers to exhibit their products and also interact with potential buyers and suppliers. It consists of an auto forum, auto show, and B2B and B2G exchanges. The AU Youth Startup Program will have a dedicated pavilion for youth startups in Africa where they will showcase their innovative ideas, prototypes, goods, and services. The IATF will provide opportunities for matchmaking with venture capitalists, entrepreneurship training, networking among the youth, and other delegates at the trade fair. The IATF 2023 Diaspora Day will highlight commercial and cultural ties between Africa and its diaspora, featuring a diaspora summit, market and exhibition, cultural and gastronomic showcase. IATF 2023 will provide a unique and valuable platform for businesses to access an integrated African market of over 1.3 billion people with a GDP of over $3.5 trillion created under the African Continental Free Trade Area. The African Export-Import Bank, African Union Commission, AFCFTA Secretariat, and the Arab Republic of Egypt invite you to join us from the 9th to the 15th of November at IATF 2023 in Cairo, Egypt. Intra-African Trade Fair, connecting African markets. For more information, visit www.intraafricantradefair.com.
All right, round of applause, yeah? Sounds quite extensive. It's going to be from the 9th to the 15th. So you've seen everything from the creative industry, automotive, talking about investment, banks. A lot of players are going to be part of this. We're talking about connecting African markets. Now, to bring us into Botswana, you know, this is not my first time in Botswana. This is my second time. And this started from 2021. In Dar es Salaam when I met with the next guest who's going to come and introduce us about Botswana. And one thing he said to me was that, did you know Botswana is a country built on diamonds? You walk on diamonds, the schools are diamonds, the hospital is diamonds. He told me everything is diamonds. I said I had to come and see what he said. And so 2022, we came here for Prosperity Africa Conference, which was one of our premier conferences that we had with PASI. But I cannot say that it's amazing when you get to travel and experience people firsthand. And it's all the more important to welcome the guests who are joining us, you know, online, to get to know more about Botswana, what Botswana has to open. So allow me to bring to stage our next speaker from Business Botswana, the CEO, Mr. Norman Molele.
And the food you eat is diamonds. Good afternoon, Maretu. Good afternoon? Aha, now you can hear diamonds again. Maretu, my name is Norman Molele. I'm from Business Botswana. I've been given a very simple task. I'm not a speaker. There are speakers who are going to tell you a lot more than what I'm going to say. My job here is to say to you, welcome. But before I can say welcome, let me recognize the Deputy PS at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, who's standing in for the Minister of Trade and Industry, Mayor Lesedi Khotlele. I will recognize Dr. Gainmore Zanamwe, Trade Facilitation and IATF, Afro-Exim Bank. And I will recognize panelists. I'll make a little explanation later on. We have 4 panelists. We've got BITC, we've got PASI, and we've got 2 entrepreneurs from Diamond Country, from Botswana. We've got Re Kalistas Poloholo from Kali Clothing, one of our youthful entrepreneurs in the country, and our dear lady, founder of J-Table Holdings, Rebecca Muipolai. Let me recognize these, and let me also recognize Business Botswana board members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make a disclaimer. I was not furnished with names of every distinguished individual here, and I know it always causes a bit of chaos when you recognize others and you don't, but let me say you are all recognized. My role, like I said earlier on, is to simply welcome you to this afternoon's session. And I would like to welcome you, those who are attending this session physically, which is yourselves here, and then those who are joining us virtually. Being a Friday afternoon for my own home people, I must congratulate you for making the time. Usually at around this time, some of us would be on the road to go to Masimu, to go to other events elsewhere across the country. My hometown is in Francistown, so usually on a Friday afternoon, I'll be on the road to Francistown, which is 450 kilometers from here. And I know I'm not the only one, but let me say, I must congratulate you for making it to this session. It's quite an important session. We are talking about the road to the Intra-Africa Trade Fair 2023, the Botswana Business Roadshow. The purpose of this session, ladies and gentlemen, is to encourage you all, as Winket has said, to participate in the forthcoming trade fair, which will be taking place in Egypt from the 9th to the 15th of November 2023. Now, at trade fairs, you'll all agree with me, there are 2 types of visitors to the trade fair. There are those who are coming to exhibit and show what they have, what they can sell, what they can share with the market. And there are those who go to the trade fair to look for business opportunities. So if you have nothing to exhibit at the IATF, visit the IATF to go and look at business, look for business opportunities, sign up deals, come and set up enterprise in Botswana, set up enterprise wherever you are, following your contacts and engagements with those who will be exhibiting at that trade fair, and improve the living standards of your home country. And for this one, I want to encourage you all from Botswana to please go to this trade fair, sign up, deals, engage with exhibitors who you'll find there, bring the business to Botswana, bring the investor to Botswana. Let's create jobs for Botswana. Let's diversify the economy. I know Botswana will understand. Gain more. I'm sure you understand what I mean when I say Hatsilenu Larun. Yes, I mean this blessed country of ours. This roadshow is the second installment in the process to promote the 3rd Intra-African Trade Fair, which is taking place in Egypt. The trade fair is brought to you by the Afro-Exim Bank in collaboration with the African Union and the Africa Free Trade Area Secretariat. We come in as Business Botswana under the auspices of the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce. We are part and parcel of the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce, as Winket has mentioned, and we work together in promoting business. within Africa, across Africa, and between Africa. We connect Africa through the Chamber of Commerce movement. Business Botswana is a Chamber of Commerce, it's an employer federation, it's a business representative organization, which you've got to be part of. So if you are not a Business Botswana member, please make an effort to be part of us, because we are the ones who can connect you with your counterparts anywhere in Africa. And not that we only focus on Africa. We can connect you with other enterprises elsewhere in the world, be it in the Americas, be it in the Asias, be it in China. We actually have recently opened a satellite office in China. So be part of Business Botswana and benefit from this relationship. Yes, when I was in Tanzania, I was asked to talk about Botswana, and I certainly said exactly as Winket has said. So, Bagaitsu, welcome to Diamond Country. You are sitting on diamonds, you are walking on diamonds, you are eating diamonds, and you are looking at diamonds as you go to the airport. It's a diamond airport, the roads are diamond roads, and everything is diamonds. Diamonds have done wonderful things for this country, and we continue to do more. Bagaitsu, I'm not supposed to be speaking for too long. Mine was just to say you are most welcome. Have a great time. Ke a leboga.
Thank you very much, Norman. As always, it's a pleasure, and it's good to talk about, the roles with chambers and what we do. And overall, as we said, for you to build a house, not everybody's going to be doing the same role. There are different people doing different roles. And when you look at the market, you have different players as well. So it's important for us to also see what is the role that our main collaborator who has brought us here, Afrexim Bank, is doing with regards to bringing one market, connecting the African market. So allow me to bring to stage our next speaker, Dr. Gainmo Zanamwe, who's the Director, Trade Facilitation and IATF, African Export and Import Bank. So please, everyone, round of applause as he comes to the stage.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Moderator. And having actually spent some time here in Botswana, I was actually telling my colleague that we are doing the roadshow on a Friday. Are you sure we're going to have people, or will be just speaking to Winnie and Botswana business? I'm really happy and excited that you've actually turned out in numbers, and we look forward to the exciting discussion. Gainmo Zanamwe is my name, and it was only after university when I now started looking at the meaning of my name, and I ran for a couple of years after university thinking that I'm the one who was supposed to gain. But when I spoke to my mother, she said, no, when I gave you this name, it basically means that the people around you should actually gain more from you. So I'm here, and I hope Botswana will also be able to gain more from the presence of Afrexim Bank. I would like, on behalf of Professor Benedict Orama, our President and Chairman of the Board of Afrexim Bank, welcome you to this important roadshow. And you know that in Cairo, the pyramids are already calling you, the pharaohs are already calling you, and I don't know who will say no to the pyramids and the pharaohs. So I look forward to welcoming you in Cairo 9 to 15 November. But before I do that, I want to spend a few moments to tell you why you should come to Cairo. And let me basically stand on existing protocol. I would like to recognize Madam Deputy PS Lesedi Kotlele. Thank you very much, Madam. We've been with you for the past few days, and thank you very much for the support and the hospitality that has been extended to us, and also to our partner, Business Botswana. Thank you very much for basically taking the lead, as well as our partner in crime, Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I think we've been in this together. We swim or sink together. And of course, our very key partner, Botswana Investment and Trade Center, the CEO and his staff, we really have been working together, and they passionately believe that Botswana can become a hub for trade and investment. And in Afreximbank, you have a Pan-Africanist partner who believe in you, whether you are small or big, will partner with you to make sure that you achieve your objectives. So a very good afternoon to everybody, and it's really a pleasure for me and my colleagues from the bank, as well as the African Development Bank, the Arab Bank for Economic Development, and some of my colleagues to really work with you and share some of the information about the Intra-African Trade Fair that is basically taking place in Cairo. This is the third edition of the Intra-African Trade Fair. The first edition took place in Cairo. We went to Durban. We are going back to Cairo, and we've been here for a due diligence mission, and we've basically been trying to work with Botswana to see if Botswana can also put in place the requisite infrastructure to host subsequent editions. It's not only the infrastructure that matters, but it's the passion and commitment that comes from people like you who basically sacrifice your Friday afternoon to come and listen to the important issues about intra-African trade. So we basically would like to thank you very much for coming, and I want now to probably tell you why we embarked on the Intra-African Trade Fair. Some of you may probably recall that during the first OAU then meeting of heads of states, when they met for the very first time, there are three key things that they discussed that they wanted to see happen in Africa. That is their first meeting in 1963. One of them was to have a continental payment system. The second issue they deliberated was to have an all-African trade fair. And the third issue had to do with transit systems to facilitate movement of goods. I don't know, it has taken us how many years before we eventually say we have a Pan-African payment and settlement system. It has taken us so many years to actually launch a sustainable continental trade fair. So we know that in 1972, there was the All Africa Trade Fair. It was launched, I mean, like so many things in our continent, we launch things, we leave them to die. So there are many initiatives that have been launched, and most of them have not been sustained. So when we looked at the All Africa Trade Fair, we actually say this was a very good initiative. It was recommended by our forefathers, the African heads of states who met in 1963. So we said, what went wrong? Why is it that it didn't succeed? So when we looked at that, we actually found the reason why it died. I'll tell you, but maybe Botswana business CEO will need to promise me how many diamonds he will give me after telling him the answer there. So when we did this soul searching, we actually realized that a trade fair is very important, not only in terms of sharing trade and market information. Some of you who are more sophisticated than us, you call it market intelligence, and you are right. So we realized that in Africa, we actually don't know each other. And somebody sitting here in Botswana does not even know somebody who is in Cairo, somebody who is sitting in Comoros, somebody who is sitting in Morocco. And if we don't know each other, there is no way we can trust each other. I can tell you that. You can ask the ladies. That's basically the first test that you basically need to know. So we also realize that if you really don't know each other and if you can't trust each other, there is no way you can even do business together. And yes, we have heard a number of people saying infrastructure is a problem. We agree that infrastructure is a problem, but it's a generalized problem because right now in Africa, we are pushing trade with the globe worth more than $1 trillion. So we're actually trading more than 80% with everybody else except ourselves. In our analysis, we actually discovered that it boils down to lack of access to trade and market information, which is critical to build the trust, which is critical to do the trade. If you know that in Egypt, by the way, Egyptians, they love eating meat. But guess what? Where are they getting most of their meat? And it's something that really shocked me. The bulk of the meat comes from Brazil, Argentina. And having lived here in Botswana and having tasted the delicious Botswana beef, I told them that we are not serious. In America, as nice as the Botswana beef. So I was actually saying there's a potential for trade, beef from Botswana to Egypt. But the problem is that the Egyptians, they are only used to the Brazilian beef. So what is it that we need to do to get them introduced to the things that we have here? Of course, they know about diamonds, and they will be coming soon for diamonds. The other issue that really shocked in our analysis is that even our neighbor, South Africa, they go all the way to India, New Zealand, Italy, to import leather that they use in their cars. And yet to Europe to import leather at even a higher cost. But Burundi, their neighbor, is also doing leather. So we've been saying, what's really going on? Lack of access to trade and market information. So that is the main reason we decided now to convene the Intra-African Trade Fair. The inaugural one started in 2018. It started as a small piece of paper, and today we are talking about an event that has been endorsed by the AU heads of states. We are talking about a brand that is connecting Africa. As some of you may recall, in Egypt at the inaugural trade fair, we actually did $32 billion of trade deals. And that was basically a way of catalyzing intra-African trade to move it from 16% to a higher level that can actually create and sustain jobs for the continent, for Botswana. And in 2021 in Durban, we actually did about $42 worth of deals. So a trade fair, it's a platform for you to be able to engage, showcase trade and investment opportunities. And at Afreximbank, we believe that the trade fair is now coming at a good time where we have the AFCFTA. We believe that the AFCFTA, by creating a large market of more than 1.4 billion people, a market of more than 3.4 trillion, this will actually enable some of the projects, some of the business opportunities that were not able to take place to actually take place. The AFCFTA will promote what we call AFCFTA-led industrialization, whereby we will not be focusing on competing with each other, but the focus will be collaboration through the development of regional value chains. Botswana is strong in beef. How can Botswana work with other African countries to ensure that you develop the beef value chain? You probably become a center of excellence on beef. I've seen recently that you are actually trying to improve what you are doing in the beef industry. You've been importing some Brahmans, some head, and you're on the right track. And Afreximbank is basically here to support you on those projects. But we believe that the AFCFTA is going to help us to reverse engineer some of the things that were done to us during the colonial period. It is now a moment for Africa to be united, to take its destiny in its hands. We have Agenda 2063, which is going to help us to create the Africa we want. The Botswana you want, you have to start by creating it. You have got a wonderful vision 2036. Most of the things we've looked at what you have, they align and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. into what we are trying to do at Afrexim Bank. We are promoting industrialization. We are sick and tired of getting our mineral resources abroad without value addition, our agricultural commodities abroad without value addition. We have the human resources, we have the skills, we have the money. At least Afrexim Bank believe that we have the money that can be used to support you, to add value to your commodities. We have the money that can be used to import the technology. So we are here to play a catalytic role. That is why when my president was here, he met with your president. They basically are working on a 1.5 billion country program to try and support Botswana to build its capacity for trade and investment. And we have already, I think in the past, we've already financed deals worth more than 100 million. We want to do more. And for some of you who didn't know that Afrexim Bank is actually your bank, we are having you as our shareholders. So if you do not utilize some of these opportunities, somebody else will. So we are here to tell you about the opportunities that we have, the financial products that we have that can actually support you, and we'll be happy to work with you in a probably more granular fashion. And we've always been working with Botswana Investment and Trade Center. We have shared some of the things with them. You can also go to them as our first port of contact. They can basically share some of the information that we have as Afrexim Bank that will help you as businessmen, businesswomen to be able to actually access the funding. But permit me just to highlight some of the game-changing initiatives that we've actually put in place. At Afrexim Bank, we decided to create a dedicated bank called the Intra-African Trade Bank. It's a bank within a bank that is focusing purely on intra-African trade. And if you look around the continent, you will not find a similar institution. The reason why we did that is that we believe that those regions outside Africa that managed to develop and create jobs for themselves, they actually did that through trade. Look at Europe. Intra-European trade is more than 60%. Look at Asia, it's more than 40%. It's only those regions like Africa where intra-African trade is around 16 to 18%, where we are not developed. So we decided to actually take it upon ourselves to actually go back to the reason why we were established. We were established to actually promote intra-African trade, to catalyze trade between Botswana and Egypt, Botswana and Morocco. So that's basically our main mandate. So we have now created a dedicated bank which is focusing on that. And since inception, we have actually disbursed more than 20 billion US dollars to facilitate intra-African trade. That was up from 2017 to 2021. And we plan to double that to 40 billion between 2022 to 2026. We believe that we can actually do that. And I want some of the people in the room, the business people, to also tap into that. We believe that the resources are there. I also want to highlight that we don't only finance. Finance, from our point of view, is the least of the challenges. Intra-African trade requires that you also focus on trade facilitation. That's why we are focusing on initiatives like the Intra-African Trade Fair. But in addition to that, we also had to respond to the call of our forefathers. Strong and powerful, why can't the Egyptians trade using the pound, the Egyptian pound? So this is how we came up with a Pan-African payment and settlement system. Briefly, this is how it works. You send your beef to Egypt, and you'll get paid in Botswana Pula. And the person in Egypt will actually get Egyptian pounds, work through his commercial bank and the central bank, and be able to actually take the equivalent in Egyptian pounds. And this is the amount that will then be paid, but then when you are here in Botswana, you will be paid the equivalence in Pula. If we do that, we'll be able to save about 5 billion every year that is being lost in transaction costs. Because the money has to first fly to Joe Biden and then come back to Botswana. We need to put an end to that, and that's why Afreximbank is here, and we don't have hard currency. We were speaking to President of Kenya, President Ruto. He supplied tea and coffee to Egypt, but Egypt has not been able to pay them because they were looking for dollars, and they were stuck. So these are some of the issues that we are trying to resolve. The good news is that the African Union heads of states have endorsed the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System. About 9 central banks now have signed onto the system. It's already being piloted in West Africa. It's being implemented. 72 commercial banks have already started trading under PAPS, and we are now working on onboarding other countries, including Botswana, to start trading in your national currencies, not in somebody's currency. So we have got a whole lot more. I will not be able to, due to time constraints, go into all those issues. But what I also want to highlight is that I've seen in Botswana that there are smallholder farmers, there are SMEs, there are women and youth who want to enter into trade, who want to do business. They are not able to do that. We are working on an important initiative called the Export Trading Companies Initiative that will help to aggregate the products that are produced by smallholder farmers, by SMEs, and then take them to the market. The Export Trading Company will help you to look for the market. Once they've identified the market, they can actually now come to you and tell you about the specific market requirements, so that when they go and produce, whether it's beef or any agricultural products from Pandamatenga, they will be knowing what exactly is required in the market, and they produce to market requirements. That will also help you to even access financing, because the ETC will enter into off-take contracts. That will actually make financing easier and predictable. So it's one of the innovative instruments that we are implementing. We also have got some products that we are using to try and support the SMEs and smallholder farmers. One of them is factoring. I think I've seen Muruisi, who is our ambassador for factoring. Where is he? Yes. So we are actually working with him to ensure that he also provides financing to SMEs through the factoring product. We also have got a 1 billion creative industry facility that will support people in the creative industry. It could be fashion, it could be film, it could be music, arts and crafts. That facility is there for you to actually... Africa is rich in creative talent. Botswana, I know you are very rich in your talent, music. So why is it that we are not capitalizing on that? We need to protect and preserve our culture, but also commercialize it and get of soccer. All these European teams, they are even made up of Africans. And that's our talent. So what is it that we can actually do to then do infrastructure development, whether it's in the sports, whether it's in the film and the industry? We need to build the capacity to be able to train our people to be able to actually do that. These are some of the things that we are working on. I also want to highlight one other initiative that is going. We've got challenges through thick and thin, $9 billion US just to deal with the COVID issues. During the Ukraine-Russia crisis, we've actually disbursed more than 7 billion to deal with the challenges that the continent is facing. So when there's a crisis, actually the bank will actually step in when everybody's running away. That is the reason why we were created. We are basically an invention of necessity. When it's thick, when things are tough, that's where we come in and stand with you. So we've got a number of facilities that we have at your disposal. One last one that I want to mention is the project preparation facility. I know most of you in this room, we've got wonderful ideas, brilliant concepts, but now to convert those into projects that you can take to FNB or to my brother African Development Bank or Afrexim Bank, that's where the challenge is. So we've got the project preparation facility, which can help you now to prepare your projects to bankability. And for those that also struggle to get equity, because for you to do any business plan, they'll ask you when to move. So Afrexim Bank has created a fund for export development in Africa, which we call FEDA, which provides patient equity to enable you to basically jumpstart some of these businesses. So we've got a range of products and facilities. Time is not adequate for me to go through all these. That's why I didn't even want to go through the speech. I just wanted to pick a few issues and highlight them to you. We have now become a trade and project finance supermarket, whatever suits you. Thank you very much, Kia Leboka.
Thank you very much. So we'll be coming to your supermarket in order to gain more, right? They say that with the headlights, as you're driving at night, you only see the farthest distance that you can with that road. But you miss out on the beauty when the sun comes out in the day. And that's the importance of the information, sharing, getting to know each other. If you don't know each other, we're not going to trade among each other. And this continent, from the few countries at least I've managed to go to, I've been surprised by how much we have really dawned into stereotypes that we miss out on the opportunities of getting to know each other. So it will be important for us to finally have a platform which is being presented by the Afrexim Bank, the African Union, the ASFTA, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, as a potential for us to actually bring back together and have a boundless, borderless Africa. And more importantly, is about partnerships, right? Public sector, private sector partnerships. It cannot be just the private sector doing their thing and then complain to this other end and then this other end saying that, you know, the private sector needs to do something. But what we are seeing with the ASFTA, what we're seeing with the IATF presenting, is showing how business and governments, policymakers, finance, everyone on board is trying to bring us into one African market. I know I constantly insist on that, but we always have to drill in the message that we are one continent, one market. So allow me to introduce to the stage the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Ms. Lesedi Kotlele, from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, the Republic of Botswana, to give us that insight into the role on the engagement, or rather the partnerships that we're talking about from public to private. The stage is yours. Please, a round of applause.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the room is full. Thank you very much. Let me welcome you all to this event. Madam Facilitator, let me, before I start, apologize for the Minister. They've been called up to Cabinet. The Permanent Secretary has also been called up. Therefore, I'm standing, the Assistant Minister also joined the Minister to Cabinet, so I'm standing in for them. I hope I'll be able to wear their shoes. Let me, Madam, through you, Madam Facilitator, recognize the presence of the CEO of the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I will not be able to go into names. Some of the names are a challenge, difficult to pronounce. Let me not butcher the names, just be able to read the names that I can read in English. Let me also recognize the presence of the CEO of Business Botswana, Mr. Norman Molele. That one I'm comfortable in saying. Let me also recognize Director of Trade Facilitation and IATF, Afrexim Bank, Gain More. Let me also recognize the CEO of BITC, Reiki Lucisto Libile, officials from Afrexim Bank and the African Development Bank, distinguished panelists, captains of industry, members of the media fraternity, and all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to address you during the Intra-Africa Trade Fair, IATF 2023, Botswana Business Roadshow. This business roadshow comes at an opportune time following Botswana's ratification of the AFCFTA in February 2023. The IATF Roadshow therefore presents opportunities for stakeholders to engage in meaningful conversations on the Afrexim Bank products and facilities to enable Botswana's private sector to take advantage of the opportunities offered by the bank in promoting intra-Africa trade and investment. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Afrexim Bank, the African Union Commission, and the AFCFTA Secretariat, as well as Business Botswana, for ensuring that we host this event, and also for ensuring that we are shortlisted as possible hosts of the IATF 2025. Since inception of the IATF in 2018, Botswana has participated in all the previous editions. I'm told the IATF provides a platform for connecting African buyers and sellers from across the continent and thus facilitating intra-Africa trade and investment. It is a vehicle for the implementation of the AFCFTA agreement. And I'm happy to say that the AFCFTA is the most significant milestone in the continent's regional integration agenda and certainly remains the largest free trade area since the inception of the WTO. It is one of Africa's flagship projects for achieving Africa's aspirations regarding the Africa we want, as outlined under the Africa Strategic Framework for Development, which we normally call Agenda 2063, under the AU. The agreement covers a market of close to 1.3 billion people and a combined GDP of over 3.4 trillion US dollars across all the 55 member states of the African Union. Ladies and gentlemen, the AFCFTA, like we have always been saying, brings with it several opportunities which would take our continent forward through elimination of abject poverty and unemployment. Furthermore, the agreement will not only provide the vehicle for us to trade amongst ourselves, but will also offer a huge opportunity to exploit the abundant wealth and resources of our great continent for the benefit of all our people. The AFCFTA will not assist Africa to industrialize, build productive capacities across several sectors, as well as it will also assist in diversifying our export base. The AFCFTA will improve the prospects of Africa as an attractive investment destination. We must therefore use the AFCFTA to advance the empowerment of all, especially our women, our youth, and our SMMEs. And as we know that improving on our women's youth access and SMMEs to trade will not only bring trade, but will also bring opportunities which will benefit all of us in the long term. Therefore, for growth across the continent, women, young Africans, and SMMEs have to be at the heart of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the role of the private sector in the implementation and full exploitation of the IATF cannot be overemphasized. Therefore, today's engagement is more than opportune. I wish to encourage policymakers to build productive capacities, accelerate structural transformation, and in order to unleash private sector participation in the IATF through investment in conducive business environment. Ladies and gentlemen, our national vision, which is Vision 2036, is geared towards stimulating growth through value addition and a beneficiation of our natural resources, modernization of our agriculture, digitalization of our information and communication infrastructure, as well as empowerment and full participation of our citizens towards transforming our country from a resource-reliant economy to a full industrialized one. We believe that AFCFTA provides an opportunity for Botswana to meet the ideals of our Vision 2036. Our geographic location, coupled with integrated transport network and information and communication technology, will enable us to seemingly take advantages offered by the AFCFTA. The recently completed Kazungula Bridge, constructed between Botswana and Zambia over the Zambezi River, including its one-stop border facilities, will provide the necessary trade connection route between the southern and central parts of Africa, as well as stimulating intra-Africa trade. The estimated market offered by the AFCFTA, ladies and gentlemen, will contribute to diversification of the economy through an export of non-traditional exports. And the AFCFTA will further provide the private sector with access to new and dynamic markets within the fastest growing economies in the continent, which will include Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya, Rwanda, just to mention a few, and thus reduce reliance on traditional markets. All along we know that our beef has been going to Europe. Therefore, Gainmo has just given us an insight as to say there are other markets out there which we need to explore. In addition, you'll be able, as the business sector, you'll be able to get your raw materials from within Africa. Remember, the transport has always been a challenge of us getting raw materials from outside. Therefore, AFCFTA will enable us to be able to get the raw materials within a stone throw distance away from ourselves. However, you should brace yourselves for the stiff competition, which will be brought about by this. Therefore, there is need for you as the private sector to be prepared and come up with smart ways of doing business which will make you competitive. My ministry is committed towards ensuring that Botswana benefits from the FCFTA agreement and the continental initiatives aimed at boosting intra-Africa trade, such as the IATF. To this end, I want to encourage each one of you to fully take advantage of the benefits offered. Again, more just elaborated or elucidated a lot of offers that they as Afrexim Bank have that can be able to benefit each one of us here. And like he said, the supermarket. He's saying that there is a supermarket where you can just go in and pick whatever you want to pick. Therefore, I urge you to go out there to take advantage so that we are able to gain from this AFCFTA. Therefore, because he said he didn't mention all of them, I take it that during this event, you'll be able to go to him and be able to discuss further to see what this supermarket has other than what he has already mentioned. Let me, at this juncture, thank Business Botswana for facilitating and bringing you together so that you are able to gain from what Gainmo has just said, and then be able to trade in future with other Africans. I therefore urge you that even if we don't win the bid, which I'm positive we are going to win, you will be able to gain more from this IATF, and also take advantage, go out there and participate at this upcoming IATF, which will be held in Cairo this year. And I know that it's not going to be this only one that we are going to attend. We are going to attend all the others that are going to be organized. So I assure you, Gainmo, that Botswana in this room are going to be participating in all the IATF events that you are going to be calling up. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to say, go to Cairo. As one of the two types of examples or exhibitors or visitors that Ramulele talked about, he said there were two types of visitors that normally go to the trade fairs. So either way, I know you're going to bring back something for our country so that we all benefit from it. With those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention. Good afternoon.
exciting, isn't it? I'm not seeing the excitement in this room. Is it exciting? You have a supermarket, you've been told what you can get, right? You've been told that the government is with you on this. You have the chamber supporting to get you where you want to go. So there's an excitement in the room, yes? So what I would ask you to do, as you're going for this short break, is for you to network and get to know who else is in this room. Because as we come back for the panel session, we need to find out what is Botswana, you as the team that is present here, bringing to Cairo, and what are you planning to gain from Cairo as well. So we're going to take a 15-minute break. I'll request for the speakers, including those in the panel, to just remain shortly for a moment so that we can prepare for the next session. So we have only 10 minutes, and then you're back, right? Everybody who's seated is coming back, or are you going to disappear for the Friday afternoon? No, all right. So let's keep it to the 10 minutes, and then see you back in a few. Thank you very much, everyone.
I never traded you for nothing. This love will make me the jackpot shit. Without you, I'm not going to know. Without you, I'm not going to tell me with this all bingo. I never traded you, baby. This love will make me the something. No. I'm not going to tell me what's up, bingo. I'm not want to make me baby. I'm not girl, I want to make you. Baby, I feel like making you. Oh, baby, oh, no.
You're now listening to an official Oh So City mix.
Oh So City, que rico, papi.
Baby, calm down. Yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown, oh lockdown. Yo, you sweet life, phantom. If I tell you, say I love you, you know they for me, young girl, oh young. The little good things you do, they make me no. This distance is taking a hold of me for sure. Baby, come. I find way to talk to the girl, but she ain't no one follow. When you gonna phone for one? When you know I go for one? Then I start to feel a bum one. But she did give me small one. I know, say she's a bit pass it down one. But she feeling insecure, cause her friends could they go my light ring go on. Could they go my light ring go on.
Yeah, I know we look shy, but for you I get down low. And my hips make you cry when I'm moving around you. Do it once, do it twice. I push back, you hold me tight. Get a taste for a night. Baby, show me you can calm down. Dance with me and take the lead now. Got you so high that you can't come down. Don't you ask, you know you're allowed. When
It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher grounds we're lifting off. Nothing holds us bound. Can you see it? The light of Africa is rising to higher grounds we're lifting off. Nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Together we grow stronger and united. out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, we know we got that power. Africa, we are strong. One nation to another. See now we stand as one to celebrate our victory. Riches and glory of the motherland, and nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Forever we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 Africa. Oh, 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 it's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher ground, we're lifting off, and nothing holds us bound. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher grounds, we're lifting off. Nothing holds us bound. Can you see it? The light of Africa is rising to higher grounds. We're lifting off. Nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Together we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 oh. that power. Africa, we are strong. One nation to another. See now we stand as one to celebrate our victory. Riches and glory of the motherland. And nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Forever we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 Africa. Oh, 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 it's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher ground, we're lifting up. Nothing holds us bound. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher grounds, we're lifting up. Nothing holds us bound. Can you see it? The light of Africa is rising to higher grounds. We're lifting up. Nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Together we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 yeah. We know we got that power. Africa, we are strong. One nation to another. See now we stand as one to celebrate our victory. Riches and glory of the motherland. And nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Forever we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. we're stepping forward. We're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward. We're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 Africa. Oh, 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 it's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher ground, we're lifting off, and nothing holds us back. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher grounds, we're lifting off. Nothing holds us bound. Can you see it? The light of Africa is rising to higher grounds. We're lifting off. Nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Together we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 yeah. We know we got that power. Africa, we are strong. One nation to another. See now we stand as one to celebrate our victory, riches and glory of the motherland, and nothing holds us bound. So come on and come on. We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Forever we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors of your flags and say goodbye to the darkness of the past. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Break down the chains, clear the lines that separate, and shine the light on the things that make us great. We're stepping forward, we're rising up. Oh, Africa, our time is now. Oh, 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 Africa. Oh, 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 It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Higher grounds we're lifting off. Nothing holds us bound. Can you see it? The light of Africa is rising.
All right. If I may request for everyone to come back into the room so that we can get started with the panel. So 1 minute for everyone to just come back to the room.
We call on, oh Africa, come let us build a dream for all. Together we grow stronger and united. Paint out the sky with the bright colors.
Everyone for coming back for the next session after the break. I'm going to quickly introduce our panelists so that we can have a bit of time for the Q&A. So I'd like to invite on stage Mr. Temo Donald Ntapu, who's the Executive Director, Export Development and Promotion at the Botswana Investment Trade Center. He's an experienced international trade professional with practical skills in export development, export marketing strategy, and market research. He's also skilled in the areas of exporter capacity building, training, enterprise monitoring, diagnostic assessment of enterprises to identify technical skills and training needs for business improvement purposes. So please, round of applause. Thank you, Temo, for joining us. Next, I'll call to the stage Madam Rebecca Moipulai, who is the founder of J Table Holdings. She holds a postgraduate certificate in risk management and AAT and is still studying at ACCA. J Table Holding was founded in 2014 and is a 100% citizen and women-owned business. And it's still at its infancy stage and is comprised of 2 shareholders, with her being the managing director. So please, round of applause. Next to stage, I'd like to call Mr. Callistus Fologolo. Now, he's going to kill me for that now. Who's the Chief Executive Officer, Kali Clothing and Corporate Gifts. He's a visionary entrepreneur, passionate branding expert, and the driving force behind the extraordinary success of Kali Clothing and Corporate Gifts, which won the award for the best stall personnel at the IATF 2021 in Durban. So it's a pleasure to have you on stage. And last but not least, allow me to also introduce Mr. Hilary Kumwenda, who's the manager at the Intra-Africa Trade Bank, at Afrexim Bank. He's managing the IATF portfolio. He has extensive experience undertaking advisory work in trade policy formulation and negotiations in bilateral trade agreements, regional trade agreements, and multilateral trade agreements, including working in Africa, Asia, and Pacific regions, as well as covering other regions. So thank you very much. Round of applause. All right. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and joining us. It's quite an exciting time. We're talking about one market, connecting one market. We have this platform that we have with IATF. So I would first of all want to start with you, Mr. Temo. With regards to what are the main sectors in Botswana which can take full advantage of the ASFTA, if you could kindly inform our audience.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity to share a bit of information with our customers and stakeholders. Let me say, in terms of the key sectors that we are promoting as a country, they are sectors that are informed by our national aspirations of being an export-led economy by 2036. And to this effect, we have developed a national export strategy which has outlined the areas of strength where we think we can do well as a country. Of course, first and foremost, the mineral sector is still a very important us in that, as it was outlined in the earlier presentations, we haven't gotten full value out of our mineral sector. So the issue of mineral beneficiation remains key for Botswana for us to move up the value chain and actually unlock more value from this particular sector. In that agricultural space, we have new products that are coming online. We have a big project in Silibi Pikwe, and we are looking at becoming one of the largest citrus exporters in this continent, where if maybe I can share information, we have a plantation in that area which has planted up close to 1 million trees, and we are looking at having our first exports in January 2024. So it's another key sector that we'll be looking into. And then the other sectors that we are looking into are the sectors where we can actually export our knowledge in the area of BPOs. As you all know, our country, we have well-skilled graduates, and we believe in this area of providing business processing outsourcing solutions. We do have the capability to actually export that to the rest of the world. We are looking at exporting our financial services. We do encourage companies from all over to set up head offices here to benefit from a very favorable framework of incentives that comes with having operations here. So those are some of the sectors that I can mention. Of course, we have the automotive industry, where we are currently supplying automotive components to big brands like Mercedes, Nissan, VW, and the likes, supporting the automotive industry in South Africa. So we currently have those capabilities where I believe in the context of the AFCFTA, we have this sort of products that we can export to the rest of the continent.
Thank you for that. And what I would like to follow up then is, what is the role of BITC in terms of the promotion of the AFCFTA?
Yes, our role really, as it was cited earlier, currently intra-African trade stands at about 15%. And that means as the African continent, we are not trading with each other simply because we are all exporting raw materials. So for us as BITC, our role as an export and investment trade promotion agency, our role is to increase national exports. And to this effect, it means we need to assist the country to produce new export products, to produce new exporters. And to this effect, we do have quite a number of programs that we are running in the area of export development and promotion by assisting companies to be export ready, assisting companies to penetrate international markets. As you might be aware, we help companies like participate in international trade exhibitions such as IATF. So as we'll be going to Egypt in November to participate, we will be mobilizing from the private sector to actually take part in events like this. And we know this is where you can meet buyers, you can get export orders, that where you can to start supplying some of these new markets. So we really work around the area of exporter capacity building, export promotion. We promote investment into the country to help the country industrialize, because it's through industrialization where we can have new export products and where we can actually grow our manufacturing base. So we also assist in the area of ensuring that we are well known throughout the continent and making sure that the products that we do produce follow certain branding perspectives so that we can be identified as a country that produces